Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeReview.com. This is the Gan 356R. Like I said in the review, which I'll link in the description, it's not bad, but it needs magnets. It needs magnets really bad. So we are going to add magnets, and I'm going to go through how to do that with this puzzle as I do it myself. Now, you need super glue. I like the brush one, but you could also use the regular Gorilla super glue. Also, where'd they go? Oh, I lost them. Here they are. I'm going to use some N35 4x2 magnets. I've heard some people say that these are a little bit too strong for them, but I like a strong click. The magnets that come with the Gan X are 3x2 instead of 4x2, and I don't know the strength, but probably a little bit stronger than N35 just to give it that click. So first we need to take these tiles off, and the way you do that is unclipping them right there. Now, if you have a little bit of a nail, you can push that in and pop off one side, and then do the other side. So actually that's clicked in there, and let's do the other side. And there we go. So we just have to do this with all of them. So one trick I'm finding is that the caps come off this way, so I would first just kind of pull them off, but that's going off at an angle. So if you push it a little bit, that's actually going to be a little bit easier pushing it that way than trying to pull it up. Now also, if you have a screwdriver, if you just actually push one side than the other, sometimes that will stay clicked in. So you just have to push the other one. It'll come right off like that. Now one thing you want to make sure is you don't want to push it too hard. I have not had any issues with any of these breaking, and I don't think there'll be any issue, but you just want to be careful because it is plastic and, you know, not the strongest thing in the world. Okay, now I've saved the corners kind of for last because there's the same idea, but the clip is just right there, that one tiny little clip. I don't know if this screwdriver will get it. Let's find out. So this is off, but I can't get this final hook. I don't want to break anything, because that would be bad. Okay, it looks like the hook goes in that way. So the more I kind of pull, the more it's tightening, or the more it clips under. What I need to do is make sure there's something in between. So let's do this. We're going to utilize one of the edges. Just put it right there. And then unclip this. There it is. Okay, so the corners actually all fit together. What is holding them together? Oh, they clip into each other. That's cool. So I wouldn't be able to unclip those unless I did it all at the same time, or I already had it off. But the clips clip underneath here and clip that way. So if you push out, that'll help pop each one out. And then while you get the last one, you just kind of have to work that. So let's see how easy the rest will be. Actually, I've got an idea. Oh, did I just break that? No, I did not. But that was really scary. I'm gonna grab a couple paper clips and use that to help keep the pieces up. Much easier. Much, much easier. So the first cap is up. Paper clip going in. Okay. Now cap number 2. Now cap number 3. I should just be able to push that one up and the whole thing will pop out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to fast forward the rest of this and jump to where all the caps are off. And done. Okay, now first thing actually what I'm going to do is not ruin my nice mat. So we're going to go back to this classic table for all the original SpeedCube Review watchers might recognize. And I'm going to magnetize this like I did the GTS version 1, which I still think was the easiest one I've ever had to magnetize. What I'm going to do is put it back together. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. There we go. And the puzzle is now back together. And actually, this feels a lot like the GTS version 1 did with the caps off. So when you add magnets, the way that I like to do it, and I tell everyone to do it, is to just magnetize one edge in one corner, let that dry. Honestly, it takes maybe just a few seconds to dry enough to do the next piece. You don't want to start solving it at that point. And then you do 2 pieces based off of those 2, and then 4 more based off of those 4, and then you go to 8 and then 16, and then you just have a few left after that. And with this, after you magnetize 2, all you have to do is just go, and then you magnetize 2 more. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take 2 magnets, just put them on the one side and the other. And then also I've been told to kind of push as far down as possible. So there we go. That's about, focus, that's about as low as I think it'll go with that edge because we've got that notch there. And it doesn't look like this is going to block any of these pieces either, because that doesn't touch that there, and the corner doesn't have anything going down there. So perfect. Okay. Now you can put glue underneath it, which, you know, I used to not do it, but maybe I'll do a little bit here. And I'll just brush a little bit down here, and a little bit down here. And with super glue, you really want a very small amount. If you use more, it actually makes it less, what's what I'm looking for? It doesn't hold as strongly. There we go. And now I also like to put a little bit on top just to make sure we have a little bit around on the sides. So around right here. And right here. And that should hold pretty well. Okay, so now let's wait, I don't know, just about 30 seconds or so. And so now that those are pretty well stuck in there, all I'm going to do is this. And now, with that one edge here, I'm going to put a magnet on the corner, and with the magnets in the corner, I'm going to put one on that edge. So first, again, let's put a little layer of glue on either one of those. So one right here, and one right here. And now what's nice with doing it this way is the magnets are going to align themselves. So literally all I have to do is just drop it. And it sets itself. I'm going to do the same thing with this edge. There's a magnet already glued there, so all I have to do on this side is go there. And it sticks itself. And then I'll add a little bit of glue on the outside of that. Now I'm being really careful not to touch any of the stalks or sides where the caps would be on. Oh, and I just did it there. As long as that dries well before I put any caps on, we should be good. So again, let's wait another 30 seconds. And now from here on out, you really don't need to wait that long, if at all, because by the time you finish with the magnets you need to install, the ones are already dry. So from here, all I'm going to do is actually turn this 180 degrees. And then we have 2 more corners and 2 more edges we can do. And dropping one there, and dropping one here. That is extremely satisfying. The magnet just places itself. No fuss, no muss. What does that mean? No muss? Am I saying that right? No fuss, no muss? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Okay, no muss, no fuss. From Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, no muss, no fuss, no fuss, no muss, no muss, no fuss, used to say that something can be done easily without problems. Used humorously, it works every time. No muss, no fuss. That was not helpful at all. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this as you already see what to do now. At this point, there's not really a set method I have where I turn it just 180 degrees. I just kind of start scrambling at random and see which ones need to be done. If you have a pack of 50 magnets, you should only have 2 left. So that's a good way of checking. And I will see you in just a little bit. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. I'm going to say this is good. All the magnets seem very well in place. Nothing seems to be lacking in glue or security there. Let's see here. That one, yeah, that was pretty good. And like I said, there are only 2 magnets left. And just like almost every cube I've done, I accidentally glued 2 together. So, oh well. Okay, so let's put this back together. What's really nice is with these caps, I think this is going to be super fast and easy to do. So I'll start with the white ones and just do edge. Ooh, come on. Edge. And you don't need to hear me say edge more times. So I am just going to stop talking and finish putting this together. Okay, so we have the cube back together. Man, it feels really dry. Maybe I wiped out some lubrication while I was installing the magnets. So actually I'm going to add a lot. I feel like it needs to be quite gummy, and I like that feeling of the cube. Wow. Well, as far as if it's better or not, it is 1,000 times better. This just feels so much nicer to use. It's controllable. It's, well, does it feel like an X? Let's find out. Actually, I'll grab the SM. Not quite. So wondering if it would feel like that. Not exactly. It still kind of has the feeling, whoop, messed up that apron. Feeling of the X, where it's a little more hollow and scratchy feeling. This one's been used quite a lot though, so it feels a bit smoother now. And the SM just feels a bit more stable just already. But wow, that is a lot better. I'm going to add a little more lubrication still. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to just zoom the camera out, do a handful of solves, come back, and then give a final thought on this. But already, oh, this is so much nicer. Okay, so I'll see you guys back in a little bit. Holy cow. So yeah, this, I don't want to say it feels like an X exactly, just because the X has the magnets that are sliding that way and slightly smaller diameter, and probably the pieces are a little bit different. Plus this one I've used a lot more than this one, but for around 16 bucks plus the cost of magnets, which I'll link in the description where you can get some, where I get a lot of mine, this performs almost how the X does. Corner cutting is basically the exact same on both of these. I think if I had a little bit looser tensions, might be able to get a little bit more. But The colors I'm not super happy with. Like, I like this green. I honestly might swap out the red and the blue, though, so I get a half bright set on the X. But if this was my only puzzle, like if I didn't have the X, this one might be one that I would use at a competition. Since I have the X and I've used it a lot more, I'm a little bit more used to it. But this really is fantastic. I avoided even getting the cube because when it came out, a few people said right off the bat that it's not worth it. But it totally is. So I'll link the description also so you can get the R. Performance is great. I mean, as far as solves go, without the magnets, it was so much catching that on average is about a whole second slower than what I did after I installed the magnets. That's about it. I don't really have much else to say other than it's totally worth it for if you wanted a GAN puzzle, and if you don't put magnets in it, it's a little bit, I wouldn't suggest it over other ones. But with magnets, it performs like a $60 puzzle of what GAN produces. So I guess that's about it. So good. Good is good. I'm happy with it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.